Alright, what's going on everybody? Welcome back to another video here on the channel, and today we're going to be doing basically an update video to the Wings of Redemption situation video that I made yesterday, because there's honestly just so much stuff that's gone on with this situation to talk about, and I kind of want to make this update video because not only is there a little bit of stuff that I actually missed in my last video that I'd like to kind of clear the air with and cover that I've seen now, and plus there's also been a lot of stuff that kind of developed right before or around or after the time that I recorded the audio initially, which means, of course, when you factor in like editing the video and everything, that I was a little bit behind on some of the new developing information and stuff like that. So I wanted to go ahead and make this video really quickly to try and, like, I guess, get everything together and bring a more coherent idea with this whole situation together. So my last video, we covered a lot of the main stuff, you know, like we got the main context of what's going on here. Basically, if you don't know, a family friend of Wings of Redemption, who is like an OG YouTuber who gets trolled a lot, has become what people online would call like a lolcow. Well, anyway, this family friend came forward and made like a 4-hour call with a bunch of these trolls that troll Wings of Redemption, and in this call, he said a lot of crazy things, right? Claiming that Wings of Redemption used to be this big bad bully when they were kids, and that Wings of Redemption made these disgusting, ridiculous, like, sexual comments to his sister that ended up getting him kicked out of the house to where he had to go live with his grandma, all kinds of things, man, you know? And there's gonna be some more stuff that he said we're gonna talk about in this video, because I kind of want to, you know, clear these up and talk about them one by one. If you want to have like a little bit of a refresher on this whole thing, if you haven't seen anything, you can go watch the first video and then come back to this one. But anyways, there's a lot to go through here. Obviously, if you guys watched the first video, you will know that the person who went and talked to these trolls, whose name is Aaron, by the way, the family childhood friend or whatever, ended up coming out and saying that everything that he said about Jordy was fake, and there was a lot of speculation that maybe Wings had threatened to sue this guy, and so all of a sudden he was recanting his statement. I'm gonna go ahead and play the clip of Aaron here, the family friend, admitting that this was all fake.
Hello, my name is Aaron, and I'd like to say that I'm doing this on my own accord. Everything that I said about Jordy and his family was lies. I lied through my teeth. It was wrong of me to do. I shouldn't have done it. I didn't hear any of the information from anybody else. It was all me. And I apologize. I'm very sorry. I'm very sorry to Jordy and your family. I'm very sorry to everyone that's been hurt by these lies. I shouldn't have done it. It was wrong of me. I apologize. Very sincerely apologize. I did what I did and I said what I said. Unfortunately, I can't take back what I did. If I could, I would. But I'm sorry. I'm genuinely sorry for any pain that I may have caused you guys, and did cause you guys. My mother didn't have anything to do with any of the shit that was said. I lied about all of it.
So in this video, obviously, he's just coming forward and saying that it's all fake. You know, I made all this up. I don't know why I made all this up. I thought of all this on my own. Nobody else helped me go through and make all this. I don't know why I did it, everybody. I'm sorry to Jordy and his family. Now, obviously, this was very controversial because this guy made some pretty insane claims, right? Because this guy went around, you know, saying things as crazy as, like, he may or may not have, like, sexually harassed his sister and gotten kicked out of his home, right? You can't just go around making claims like that, and then when all of a sudden the pressure's on and people are calling you out for it, all of a sudden it's, oh, I don't know why I did this, I made it all up. I wish the best for Jordy and his family. I don't know why I did it. Like, you gotta pick one, obviously, right? Did he do it, or did you make it all up? And if you made it up, why did you make it up? Oh, I don't know why I did it, man. It just done slipped out on me. Well, we have a potential answer to why Aaron would have lied about this entire situation, and honestly, this one makes a lot of sense to me. Now, apparently the reason that this guy came forward, talked to these trolls, and said that he lied about everything that he said to them is because he realized that he probably screwed up by getting involved in this entire situation. And not necessarily because of a potential lawsuit from Wings of Redemption because of what he said, but more or less, he's probably screwed by getting involved in all of this because he's trying to stay quiet so that he doesn't jeopardize a potential criminal case against him that may or may not be pending. Obviously, when you're in that kind of situation, you don't want to just be going and getting in random internet dramas where you are claiming these kinds of things about people. probably not a very good reputation of your character when you have a public scandal of you quote-unquote lying about these kinds of things, right? Now, that hasn't been confirmed yet, but that's one of the current rumors that I've seen online onto why this entire thing is kind of going down. I've seen other YouTubers even report on this. Now, you might be wondering, well, Optimus, what is the quote itself? Okay, about this whole sister thing. What's going on with that, right? Because that's like pretty much, I would say, the main allegation that people are focused on, because that's the one that really carries like a pretty big problem with it, right? I mean, like, yeah, if he was a childhood bully, right? Like, I guess you could make a problem out of that, but to be real, I really don't care if Wings was a mean kid growing up, you know? I don't care if when he was 12 years old, he was a little fucking mean to you while you played video games, bro. I just don't. I don't know if that makes me sound bad because I don't care about him potentially bullying this guy 30 fucking years ago. But the way that I see it, if this is still an issue to this guy, you resolve that privately, man. You come to him and say, hey, you were a bully to me growing up, and you handle it however you guys decide to handle that. But you don't need to go on the fucking internet and start, I don't know, making a bunch of crazy claims about the guy. But the entire thing that was even said in the first place to his sister, apparently Wings had his sister in the house with him, like they lived together, and I guess that she, stunk, if you catch my drift. Let's just say if you catch a drift of that smell, it might smell a little bit like the fish market, maybe. A good old trip down to Long John Silver's for a fish platter. Essentially, he was just saying that her period stank. I mean, to say it in the most layman's terms possible, right? Just told her that she had a little stink coot, you know what I'm saying? Well, apparently everyone in the house got mad about that, and he just kind of defended himself and doubled down by saying, well, if we gotta live with one another, then I'm gonna tell you if you fucking stink, right? I don't know. So yeah, that's basically the comment that he made, was that she stunk down there and she needed to fucking clean up and take care of it. But of course, you know, this Aaron guy he got on this whole thing and spun it as if, like, you know, maybe he made some sort of like Harvey Weinstein comment to her or something fucking crazy. Now, you might be wondering, how did this even all start? Well, according to Wings, and this is all coming from an interview with Keemstar and Tipster that I'm going to show some clips of here soon, apparently, this Aaron guy actually reached out to Wings before this even all happened. So about a month ago, according to Wings, this Aaron jumped into his Twitch chat, basically reintroducing himself as like a childhood friend or whatever. And then he and Wings ended up talking on Twitter about him potentially coming over to Wings' house and fixing a couple of weak spots in the floor, because apparently this guy was like some sort of like, he specialized, or knew at least, in like repairing floors and building floors and stuff. I don't know if he worked at like a floor place or something. I have no idea, but apparently they had contact before this entire thing, right? So if that's true, and that's to be believed by Wings, that really raises a lot of suspicions for me, right? Like, if you had all this contact with this guy before, and you guys were talking at least about this whole thing, if you had like this issue with Wings about how, you know, he was mean to you growing up, or you really had any other personal issue with him, why didn't you just resolve it there? You know, you have personal contact with the guy, and you're telling me that, you know, your best course of action, I guess, was to go to a bunch of his trolls and detractors on the internet with this kind of story. And I mean, if these are like really serious allegations or like claims that you're making and you think that they're legit, why are you going to a bunch of his trolls on the internet? You know what I mean? Like, there's a lot of holes in the story that haven't really been answered. And that's because, honestly, I think this Aaron guy is just full of shit.
So you think he was just trying to get clout?
Correct.
Something is clearly wrong, because there's no way he would get clout. He was shocked, right, that the video even aired. He thought he was speaking to those guys privately, right? Wasn't his initial response to Wings like shocked that there was even a video, that this was up in the public?
Right, but did you not see the his Discord name at the time was Wings of Revenge, and he posted, he basically went to their Discord and begged them for that audio chat.
Now, let me go ahead and clear this part of it up, right? Because Keemstar is apparently confused in this interview on, like, about how this Aaron guy was stunned that this audio leaked, right? He didn't know it was being recorded and all this stuff. Well, the problem with that is, and I don't want to be taken as defending Wings' trolls or whatever, but I mean, the facts are the facts, right? They've uploaded this conversation. You know, it's not like, because, like, one of the big points that was made by a lot of people was like, oh, the audio seems spliced, you know? It seems like they're cutting pieces of what he says up and they're putting different things here and there. That was one of the points that this Aaron guy made. Oh, they took me out of context, man. I didn't really say some of them things they said I done said. That's just not true. I mean, there's literally clips of pretty much everything that's like important that he said it's not spliced. Like, there's the full context and the full clip. Like, they've uploaded the interview pretty much in its entirety, I'm pretty sure. And there's been a few of them that have gone through where he says, like, oh, they clipped me out of context, and they've shown proof behind it, right? So in a lot of the situations where he just straight up claimed that he was being taken out of context, and he didn't know they were going to take this and try and troll and go off with it. That's just not true, because it's also been said that this guy actually seeked the conversation out in the first place, that he found out about Wings and whatever online, and then, you know, basically went to them saying he had dirt on Wings that he wanted to air out. Also, anyone with any common sense could have probably told that the people who literally make a living and make like a hobby / career out of trolling Wings on the internet, it's pretty fair and safe to assume that if you were going to go to them with insider information that they could use against Wings, that they were going to fucking record that, and that it was going to be all over the internet. I feel like that's just common sense, you know? Anyone could have thought that. So what this guy's saying doesn't make sense.
Like, this is the kind of stuff I wouldn't talk about if, you know, you're not over here trying to say that, you know, my whole marriage is a sham, for example, and that you had 30-minute conversation with my wife and how she told me she hated living with me, which easily is disproved. Like, the whole sister thing is easily disproved.
It doesn't make sense for some neighbor to just come out who definitely knows you and then just
right, but like
come out with
using
so many
using
details.
The term neighbor again, I can promise you, I've met this guy less than 15 times in my life.
Now, you might be confused, like, oh, well, what about this whole, like, marriage thing, right? Because, well, that if you don't realize, the woman, at least next to him in this video, is actually Wings' wife, which I believe is a pretty recent development in the entire, like, Wings drama saga or whatnot, because, like, I've been paying attention to this whole Wings situation for, like, an off and on of, like, 5 years now, right? Of people messing with him online and, like, clips of him raging out on video games, you know, man, fuck this shit, and throwing his controllers and stuff like that. So that's his wife, and there's, like, a pretty big controversy around Wings and his wife, right? Because there's been some clips, right, where, like, I don't know, he says something in, like, a shitty tone or something to her, and she'll, like, cry, and he'll be on stream, like, playing video games while she's, like, clearly just upset and inconsolable in the background. And so, like, his wife has become, like, a pretty hot button topic in his life when it comes to people messing with him, while this guy, Aaron, basically made the claim that the entire marriage between the two is a complete farce, right? The only reason that she married him is because the potential for Wings to give her land, or the ability for her to get land through some sort of legal claim if the marriage were to fall apart quickly enough, would be possible, and she was basically out to get something out of him, and she doesn't really care about him. The whole thing's just a big sham. And, like, that's a pretty big claim to make, you know what I mean? You can't just go around saying that about people. Now, don't get me wrong, Wings has had some pretty public issues with his relationships and the people that he's dated in the past, and of course now with his marriage, but that's still a pretty bold claim to make about somebody's marriage. Like, that's something, if you're gonna say that, like, not only do you have to prove it, but you can't just turn around immediately and be like, well, everything I said was a lie. I don't know why I did it. I don't know why I made all this up. Now, one of the big points in this entire thing is people are saying that this Aaron guy is only apologizing because Wings made some sort of legal threat, right? Oh, I'm going to sue you for slander, something, right? Well, Wings claims that he's not going to be suing him because he doesn't think that it would be worth it. He doesn't really think that he's going to get anything out of a potential lawsuit with this guy. And to be fair, I don't really know the legal situation. I don't know if any of this technically legally qualifies as slander. I have a feeling that you could at least try to make an argument for it, but I don't know if it would hold up in court. I'm sure a very good lawyer could probably try and find a way to get through it, but at the same time, I'm not that lawyer. So on top of all of this, the trolls stole Wings of Redemption's PSN account for what I believe to now be the second time. When I say that these people go to pretty much any length to troll this guy, I mean it. Obviously, he makes his income from streaming video games, so if they steal his PSN account, which is what I believe he primarily plays on, they've shut down his income stream, or at least severely hampered it for however long that they choose to have his account for. So I don't know, man, it's a really insane and weird situation. Something about this Aaron guy really just kind of rubs me the wrong way. I mean, not only just because he came out and said that everything he said was a lie, but his intentions behind it, like everything about it just doesn't really add up. You know what I mean? He's done nothing to really provide me with any reason to believe that he actually has any sort of good intentions, right? Like, I feel like this guy is doing this for attention. I'm gonna be honest, I feel like it's entirely for attention. And I'm not here to say that some of the things that he said about Wings maybe weren't true. According to Wings, there was like a list of things that he said, and like 80% of those things were true. but there were also some pretty big ones that just simply were not true at all. At the end of the day, man, like if there's some proof that Wings is really doing something so wrong and so terrible that Aaron has, then he needs to bring that forward and stop playing around. Like, you can't be telling the whole internet these types of things and then just tomorrow being like, oh, yeah, I made it all up. That's a pretty serious thing to be doing. So anyway, I just wanted to provide like an update to this whole situation and I guess give you guys some more information on what's going on and kind of clearing everything together, you know, between the two videos and whatnot. So with that being said, though, thank you guys for watching. If you did enjoy, make sure to leave a like, subscribe if you're brand new around here on the channel, follow me over on Twitter and Facebook at @SubToOptimus. I make exclusive daily content like this every day on Facebook, and also make sure to check out Shop Opti down below. And until my next video, guys, this is Optimus, well, updating you on the Wings of Redemption situation, and signing out.